Limelight presents Diamond Dreams Prasad Kapre Show. So, welcome back, viewers. In this episode, I'm going to take up another interesting questions which a lot of people have been asking me, and which is about what are the different occasions for which a woman ends up buying jewelry. But what is also interesting is within this question is also the requirement of a jewelry designer to understand that, because the designer needs to design the jewelry according to various different occasions. So, it goes hand in hand. The jewelers have to design it to ensure that the right piece is available for the right occasion, and the consumers get to know what kind of jewelry is available in the market for different occasions. Now, the question sounds pretty simple, that what are the different occasions? Diwali ho sakta hai, Eid hai, Christmas hai, 18th birthday hai, 5th anniversary hai. There can be various different actually reasons for which or occasions for which the consumer ends up buying jewelry. But what is very interesting is that one has to look at the entire life stages of a woman. So at different life stages, a woman plays a very different role. And accordingly, her jewelry keeps changing. The design of her jewelry, the reasons for buying that jewelry, the motivation to buy that jewelry, again, actually varies depending at what life stage is she at this point in time. For example, when a woman is between, let's say, 18 to 24, she's more a youngster, a college going girl who's doing her graduation, and she's more of a daughter or a sister. That's the kind of role that she's playing within her own family. Now when she turns maybe between 25 to about 35, now she actually gets married, and so she gets into another family. Unlike a man, the woman actually changes her family and goes into the in-laws' family. And the moment that happens, here again she is playing a very different role. Now, from a daughter and a sister, her role actually now suddenly changes to being a wife, a daughter-in-law, uh, and perhaps even a mother. By the time she turns 35, she usually will have her own child, her own baby, and then she becomes a mother. So again, she has to play a different role in this life stage. And at this life stage is also she needs to, her jewelry needs to reflect, and give out a different message when she's, going out for different occasions, to a party or for anything else. And then eventually, when she turns into maybe around 35 plus, 35 to 45, and then 45 to 55, and then 55 plus, is where her role again keeps changing. And eventually at 55, she becomes a grandmother. So again, these are the different life stages. The question is, at these different life stages, what kind of motivations, or what is influencing her thinking, and that influences actually then decides what kind of jewelry she wants to buy. Now, if in the first life stage, where she's between 18 to 24 and she's like a daughter and a sister, uh, her jewelry preferences actually reflects more and comes more from her mother's choice, because she gets very influenced by what her mother is actually wearing it, or also what her mother prefers. But also the reasons for which she is going to buy jewelry is all about self gratification, or it may be about to celebrate certain achievements. Maybe she's done well in her graduation, she's found a new job, and reasons like that. And so those are the very lightweight, dainty kind of pieces where she wants to ensure that she can flaunt her new piece of acquisition, and she actually wants to flaunt it around. And that's what decides what kind of jewelry that she wants to buy. The uh, the purchase can be maybe for her 18th birthday, maybe it is for her graduation, maybe her first job, And when it is her first job, maybe from her first salary that she wants to buy jewelry. So as I said, that's where you have to have a very lightweight kind of jewelry, because that's what, from her first salary, whatever she can afford, she wants to buy it for herself, and maybe even for gifting to her mother. So that's what happens, and those are the different reasons and different occasions for which a woman ends up buying jewelry. And usually it may also involve certain festivals like Diwali, which is something, or even for Christmas, which when in her first job she's got her, perhaps her bonus for the first time. So even for festivals like Diwali, she will end up buying jewelry, which is again, of course, lightweight and very dainty looking pieces. When she moves to the next life stage of actually 24 to 44, and where she is like a wife and a daughter-in-law, now because she has got into another family, her husband's family, her in-laws family, her choice of jewelry and the designs of jewelry changes, also because she now needs to project the status of her in-laws or her husband's status in the society. So she needs to accessorize herself accordingly, and that's why now the pieces get a little more heavier, little more broader, little more influenced by certain designs which she loves. And even the average ticket value actually increases and also moves more towards diamonds and other stones, because she may want to reflect some of the colors, and may use even colored stones. So that does happen at this stage between 24 to 44. And here, as I said, she is not only playing a role of a wife and a daughter-in-law, but eventually she also becomes a mother. And again, the day she becomes a mother, her mindsets start changing, and she also starts looking at something more elaborate. So these pieces may get more elaborate in this 24 to 45, which will also obviously include some wedding jewelry. So the occasions can be the wedding itself, it can be the first anniversary, it can be what she receives from her in-laws, and obviously most of the time it is the woman herself who goes and does the purchasing, where obviously even the in-laws want her to buy a piece of jewelry which she will like it and she enjoys it. So that's where that comes in. And also in terms of the post-wedding different occasions, which can be a Karwa Chauth, or it can be a 25th birthday, it can be the 5th anniversary or the 10th anniversary, and those are the occasions. And maybe even the husband may gift it to his wife when there is a birth of a child in the family. So again, the pieces here are very different compared to what you're going to wear for weddings. So obviously for the weddings, these are those elaborate pieces, bigger pieces. But for some of these, so there is a pre-wedding, wedding, and a post-wedding. So being these three different occasions. So obviously when she's at this stage of 24 to 44, she's more into wedding and post-wedding occasions. And so whatever may be the number of occasions, as I said, even a Karwa Chauth is something which is always, there is a sort of a gifting that happens between husband and wife. And there again, these, again, rings and earrings are the most popular, especially the earrings, and maybe some of the pendants, which get really popular for these kind of occasions. So for weddings, these are elaborate pieces. And for these post-wedding, these are pieces which actually make a statement. So it's not necessarily very lightweight or something, but these are pieces which are going to make a statement in the society, because she's going to reflect what exactly is the status of her in-laws family. Coming to the third stage, where eventually between 44 to maybe 55 and 55 plus, she, as I said, actually becomes a grandmother, and she starts looking at buying something for her grandchildren. And also, so her focus then actually shifts from her own jewelry buying for herself, then more towards the grandchild, which is more from the perspective of an heirloom, which in any case she wants to pass on, which may be some of her wedding jewelry or something, which she's going to keep it aside. But having said that, the new pieces that she buys is more from the grandchild. And again, at that stage in life, there are various different occasions which can be everything to do with the fact that it is the wedding of that child, or it is the anniversary. It may be her own 60th, the 50th anniversary as well, or the 60th birthday. But apart from that, when she's buying for her grandchild, it may be for the, again, going back to the graduation and, the first job or the 25th birthday. So as I said, at different life stages, the woman ends up buying different kind of pieces. Now, when she is 55 plus and her focus is more for the grandchild, then these again maybe the the designs may be more lightweight, but yet they have to be pieces which have to make a statement. Again, why so? Because when the grandchild actually flaunts that piece of jewelry, even the grandchild has to proudly say that this is what my grandmother gifted to me. And the audience has to go, wow, wow, this is the piece. So that's where, again, when you are designing a piece of jewelry, or when you as a grandmother are buying something, it's always kept in mind that it has to be a piece which may be a lightweight, because the grandchild, being of much younger age group, should be able to wear it to her office, or maybe even to her college. But it yet has to make a statement, which doesn't mean that necessarily it has to be larger stones or solitaires or something of that sort, but something which maybe from a design perspective may be unique. And that's where again the wow factor comes in. So here again, the whole idea is, the grandmother is not only just going to gift it to her grandchild for occasions like the graduation, or or her own wedding. That grandchild's wedding becomes the other big occasion. So that's what happens at different stages in life, and these are the different occasions. And occasions like, as I said, a lot of these festivals, especially big festival like Diwali, which or even Dhanteras, or even Akshaya Tritiya, or occasions like whenever a granddaughter is trying to gift something to her grandmother, or even to her mother, so like a Mother's Day. So these are certain days in which she wants to buy, in any case. So throughout her life journey, actually, woman keeps buying the jewelry. So if at all anybody wants to calculate lifetime value, then right from 18 to about 55 or 60, if I take that many years, which is about 40, 42 years, is what a woman keeps buying jewelry. And even if she ends up buying maybe just one piece on an average in the entire 40, 42 years, you can imagine that actually women end up buying maybe 40, 42 pieces a year, just for different occasions. And I think that's where it gets very interesting, this whole jewelry industry, both from the consumer's perspective and from the retailer's perspective. So I hope I have managed to give you a little consumer insights about what exactly are the different occasions for which a woman ends up buying jewelry. But also I have given enough food for thought for the designers to actually design very apt kind of jewelry for different stages of different life stages of a woman. So thank you very much, and be glued on for the next episode, which is going to be answering another question. Thank you.